Take a look at the site. This is AleLublin, a blog dedicated to outdoor recreation and micro-expeditions in Poland. The author is highly active, holding a Level 5 Google Local Guide status and regularly posting detailed GPS tracks for mountain biking and e-bike trails. This screenshot shows a Google AI overview generated for a search about the blog. The AI explicitly praises the site. It calls the blog Wysoce użyteczna, highly useful, and highlights that the author's reports have gathered over 236,000 views. Now look at this screenshot of a direct site search for that exact same domain in classic Google search. 0 results. The error message reads, "Did not match any documents." The site is completely missing from the traditional search index. This total erasure is not a manual penalty for violating spam policies, and the site hasn't been hacked. We know this because the author's YouTube channel and the site's internal Google Analytics are still tracking regular, uninterrupted traffic. We are left with a massive contradiction. Google's artificial intelligence pipelines read the creator's work and endorse it as expert-level material. At the exact same time, Google's legacy search engine blocks the public from finding a single page of that work. To understand why this happens, we need to look at how Google maintains its traditional search index. Recently, Google deployed aggressive automated filters, like the Spam Brain system, to scrub the entire internet of low-quality, mass-produced content. Part of that scrubbing involves crawl budget. Crawling every page takes massive server power, costing money. To save resources, Google limits how many requests bots make. Free platforms like Blogspot face an algorithmic quarantine, receiving a severely restricted crawl budget. This Search Console report shows the result. The crawler hits a legacy routing system and, running on a strict budget, logs błąd przekierowania, a redirect error. But this live URL test on that same page reveals a false positive. When forced to check the page in real time, the system returns green checkmarks. It clearly states Google ma dostęp do adresu URL. Google can access the URL. The page is perfectly fine. The traditional search engine is functionally excluding technically flawless websites. The content is sound, but because it exists in a deprioritized, quarantined neighborhood like a free blogging platform, the automated system filters it out by default. While the traditional search engine struggles with these self-imposed limits, Pipeline B, Google's AI ingestion system, operates under a completely different set of rules. This AI extraction pipeline ignores domain authority scores. It ignores crawl budgets. It bypasses the algorithmic quarantines entirely to scrape unstructured data, text, and images directly from the creator's site. These two pipelines intersect in a way that traps the publisher. The AI system extracts expert data and synthesizes it into a neat summary directly on the search results page, fully satisfying the user's question internally. The publisher provides all the value, but because the traditional search engine still flags their site with false errors, they receive absolutely 0 referral traffic. They get no clicks, no readers, and absolutely no revenue. This creates a one-way street for information. The AI ingester can absorb the site's value to power its own answers, while the legacy search index continues to treat the source domain as a technical failure. The AleLublin blog is just one data point in a much larger trend affecting the entire digital publishing industry. Creators are falling into the zero-click paradox, a scenario where their work is consumed widely by algorithms, but the search engine sends no human traffic out to the actual source. This dynamic has triggered major legal action. In a recent antitrust lawsuit, Penske Media Corporation took Google to court, arguing that the search giant is answering user queries with scraped AI content while simultaneously starving the original sources of traffic. Independent publishers are now forced into an impossible ultimatum. They can allow Google to scrape their hard work for AI training models without compensation, or they can use technical controls to block the AI bots and risk total de-indexing from search results entirely. This leads to a state of functional censorship. It isn't a manual ban for violating rules. Instead, it is a cumulative outcome of the technical hurdles we've seen. If a system's default settings hide an expert site behind false errors, the effect is the same. The creator becomes invisible to the public. The search engine was originally built to act as a librarian, guiding you to a specific book. It has evolved into a machine that locks the book in a vault, reads it in secret, and charges you for the summary. The open web is being quietly, efficiently enclosed.